Anyways, I'm Joe Murray here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. If you're coming home from the game and you want to talk about it, phone number is 617-779-0985. That was the longest game that I can remember. It's been a long season. Skaz, that one was long.
You know it's bad when you got Bob at the end of the third period talking about how all the other 7 o'clock games have finished, even the ones that went into overtime.
They went to overtime and shootouts and were done before. What
the third period took 54 minutes, I think. There was 35 face-offs in the third period.
There was a 4-goal difference in the end. Like the Bruins were up 4-2 going into the third period.
Good win.
Oh, no, it was a good win. It was the good night for Jeremy Swayman. Everybody lit the lamp.
Joe, the kids. The kids looked all right.
Ooh, we'll get into that in a minute. But I must just say this. Marchand and Pasternak, huh? Looking like best friends on the ice? What happened there? Something sparked that?
A little bump.
Oh. But, I don't know. Forget about what was reported or whatnot. Like, I just look at it and say, hey, Marchand, you've sucked this year. And Pasternak at times, you're a passenger. They're not right now. They seem motivated, right?
I think the biggest thing for me over these last 2 wins is this team needs Jeremy Swayman to be their best player if they're going to win hockey games, and he was, far and away their best player, over the last couple of games. Tonight he was great. I know he gave up 2 goals, but back-to-back games. Pasternak 3 points on the night, but yes, the Wotherspoons, what was this other kid's name here? Well, they had Big Tom Callahan. Tom came from Callahan Auto Parts. They had him there tonight. So it was Frederick, finally, Wotherspoon, Marchand, Pasternak, and then Peak. They need more goals from their defensemen. It's not even funny. Then Zacha, of course, later on there, assisted by Marchand. So, Bees win tonight. If you want to talk about it, you can. We'll take a quick break, and we'll get you the headlines. And I see everybody hanging out in our chat as well. But, man, is this what the Bruins need? They need some sort of something to be mad at or a chip on their shoulder. Like, it's been bad, and then it was good, and then it was bad again, and then it was hopeless. And then Brad Marchand just chirps, and all of a sudden they're playing better again. By the way, how many guys went on injured reserve today or long-term injured reserve? But how about that Bruins and Lightning? Nice little battle. They'll see each other 2 more times this year. They've seen each other twice in, 5 days? Now they got a couple of days off. Maybe they're on to something here. Your thoughts, 617-779-0985. Some of the young guys tonight, we'll get into them in a little bit here. But let's hit the headline. We'll get you caught up on everything that's happening in the sports world as we're here until 11 o'clock tonight. I'm Joe Murray here on the Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines.
Bruins 6-2 winners tonight. Goals from Frederick, Wotherspoon, Marchand, Pasternak, Peak, and Zacha. of Charlie McAvoy's play. I have called him Charlie McAverage for a long time. There was a time where I bent the knee and I said he's playing better than average. But I think he's been below average this year. And he's dealing with something. I know that when there was a video out there or a photo that he was wearing a cast while he was in a buffet line. You know? Could get that buffet, though, with that cast. But he's out of the lineup tonight. Wotherspoon's in there. Peak's in there. Wotherspoon, I thought, was great tonight. I know they play different positions as far as that side of the defense, but I don't know. I just, long term, I don't know how this team could be without McAvoy or Lindholm, for that matter, who they had to move on long-term injured reserve today because bringing up Callahan and Wotherspoon and Poitras, I believe. Sorry, Poitras, and they had to free up some cap space. But I got McAvoy circled. This team has to go on a run right now, so they're going to really try to pull together. I know that. But are they really going places? And I know it's easy to say, oh, the St. Louis Blues did this and blah, blah, blah in 2018. This team needs to get better. They need to find scoring. And I just look at him as maybe the best piece to move. Like, could you move on from him, his money, and net back at least a top 6 center or wing? Score. Just a score. Feel like there's enough depth at least here. It might be the best position to move on from that type of guy. I didn't miss him tonight. They scored 6 goals. They gave up 2. Let's see how they do. They got a couple of days off, and we'll see. But that's the guy I circle if you want to make a move. I did mention the other day that Marchand's comments I don't think really went over well, despite if he was defending his teammate or not. But I feel like it might have opened the door for maybe an opportunity for him to go elsewhere at the deadline. So I'm already talking deadline after a win tonight, and I don't mean that because I think this was a good win. I think Jeremy Swayman played very well. I thought Pastrnak and Marchand again showed that they're the leaders on this team. But these young players did well. Poitras had a really nice breakaway on that Frederick goal. He made a really nice play on that. But it was the young kids that are playing well. They got pushed around by Tampa last week. They had a revenge game tonight. Bruins get a 6-2 win. They're now 22-19 on the year. Poitras made an impact tonight. Fought for some loose pucks. Again, I mentioned Wotherspoon. Really good. I mean, even Andrew Peak tonight lit the lamp. I think there's bad blood between these two teams for how long the game was tonight. You saw Zadorov get into it a little bit. Right? So, is that the way that they have to play? Do they have to play that way? Yeah. I think they're going to have to beat some teams playing this way. But scoring 6 goals and the way that Swayman played, forget about it. But they are just so inconsistent. How do you expect it to happen? But I credit them. They've bounced back now. This was a tough little road trip for them. That's a tough road trip. Now they came back home tonight, took care of business. So Bees win. They're off now for a couple of days. They'll look to extend their 2-game winning streak. They'll take on Ottawa on Saturday, huh? Was that a Linus Ullmark game? Swayman Ullmark Saturday? I believe it's a 3 o'clock game. That should be fun. Let's talk to Butch. He's calling in. He's down the Cape. Let's talk Bees. What's up, Butch?
Hey, Joe, thanks for taking my call, actually coming home from the game. Listen, you're getting ahead of yourself when you start talking about trade deadlines. Listen, the Bruins, someone mentioned earlier, I believe it was your engineer or whoever it was, the Bruins go as Swayman goes. If he's good, if he's hot, Bruins are hot. If he's not, the Bruins are not. Fortress, he's the bright star. He's the star of the future. It's good to see him back up, and he did have a good first period. I think he kind of petered off in the second and third period. I mean, he kept grinding away, but it was not great. And the only thing I also, if I could take 2 seconds to mention, it's Beecher. Beecher is not being used like he should be. That kid is lightning in a bottle, and that he wins faceoffs. He belongs at center. He should not be on the fourth line. So I think we've got a bunch of missing pieces. I mean, you talk about McAvoy. I don't know what to do with McAvoy. Lindholm should be dealt immediately, but nobody's going to take that contract. So we do have some bright spots. If you're thinking playoffs, Joe, I hate to tell you, I hate to break it to you early. It's not going to happen.
Hey, Butch,
but we do go as Swayman goes.
I hate to break it to you, but this team isn't good.
Well, yeah, I can't disagree. We
so
do have some.
See why I'm talking trade?
I don't know. I listen. 100% understand. I don't know if McAvoy's the trade piece. I would like to get rid of Lindholm way before I get rid of McAvoy.
Okay, but
I don't know who's going to eat that money, and I don't think anybody is.
So then we shouldn't talk about it.
No, we absolutely should talk about it. No, absolutely. We could talk about it, but I mean, hey, listen. As far as I'm concerned, nobody's off the table.
Yeah, Frederick should be on the table. Sell high.
Yeah, I mean, Frederick's worth something. He could probably be 20, 30-point guy. He certainly answers the bell when it rings.
The Pittsburgh Steelers in football, you know how they go to the playoffs every year, but they lose in the first round every year?
Yes, I do. I'm with you on
that. That's the Bruins.
Well, you're right on the money. I don't even think we're going to get to the first round. So I guess the only thing I can tell you is I'll just hit it again.
Hey, what does Butch stand for? What does Butch stand for?
Well, it's a nickname.
No, I know. But what's your real name?
My real name's Joseph. But my father's name is Joseph, and my grandfather's name is Joseph.
So you got Butch.
I got Butch. Butch on the Cape.
Butch from the Cape. Whereabouts in the Cape are you?
I live in Sandwich.
Ooh, I love Fisherman's View. It's one of my favorites over there.
Well, hey, before that, so now that we're talking food, what are we thinking about the sale of Kelly's roast beef over there in Revere?
Thank you, Butch, for the call. Appreciate that. Love Fisherman's View, though, Skaz.
Linus Ullmark has not played since December 22nd, I believe. He is injured.
Oh, wow. Okay, then. So no Linus.
No Linus.
No Linus.
Joe.
That's a Butch from the Cape, though? Isn't that? I don't know. Maybe you weren't old enough for that, but there was like a famous caller named Butch from the Cape?
Very vaguely.
Could that be like a Butch from the Cape's
cover band? A cover band right there? Cover caller?
Go ahead, Skaz. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what I was going to say. Two things.
I'm talking about trade talks. Already.
Bruins fans do not like Hampus Lindholm, and I get it. He was paid a lot of money. He was your best player until he got hurt this season. I know, he's soft or whatever. He's very good.
He also helps score. They can't score from defense.
Their power play without Hampus Lindholm has been absolutely atrocious. I know you may not love watching him every night, but he was this team's best player, to the point he got injured.
I hate to compare him to somebody, but he reminds me of like what J.D. Drew was. Like this great player, but just
steady Eddie.
Can you give it a little bit more, bro?
And then my second point is, Joe, you had a gentleman tweet at you yesterday.
Oh.
I don't know if you want to get into that at all, but something was brought to my attention during the Bruins game about this gentleman, and I thought it was pretty interesting.
Should we save it for the other side?
Yeah, why not?
I was chirped at by a politician. I'll tell you who it was. Coming up next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.
right, back here, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Tomorrow night, we have a Celtics game. And I believe we will be joined post-game by Kendra Middleton. So hopefully she bakes us cookies. Well, no, she said she was going to. I'm not inferring as I'm demanding her to make cookies or brownies. She suggested it, and don't threaten me with a good time. She brought some cookies last time that were really good, remember? It was like some sort of like dipped sugar glaze, but it was like a holiday cookie. So it had that like great, I don't want to call it fondant, but it had that like great sugary exterior. I can't really, it was dipped and it was beautiful and was lovely. So maybe we should bring them again. That's tomorrow night. People in the chat, solid Bees game tonight. That's right. They won 6-2. Jeremy Swayman, the man. A couple of young guys helping out. Scored 6 goals. It was all great. It's all good in the hood. But, yes, during the game, of course, the Jeremy Conley has a new role now. He is no longer in the production booth. He is now, would you call it on the grounds at all the games?
High up in the air.
Sources on the ground. And there are always people watching. I don't know how it happens. But this week, I was talking about this because we had Jake in here last night, and Jake is one of our video experts. And he posted a video of a take that I did yesterday, and he posted it to YouTube, and then I shared it. And I have had, like, some wild interactions over the last 24 hours. I mean, I've worked here for going on almost 13 years. So, I don't know. One take that I did got everybody all flustered. But someone chirped at me. I didn't know. I just, you know me. Like when someone, says your and they spell it Y-O-U-R, I always give them a spelling, a grammar issue. Or like, someone's like, you're fat and you're bald. And I'm like, thanks for the scouting report, man. Like, Well, someone chirped at me. I didn't look at it. You guys seem to investigate it.
Yes, Joe. This was someone tweeted at you and called you a Felger wannabe.
Oh,
as you, I think you believe mentioned last night on the show.
So here's the deal. I listen. I people think someone said you guys hate each other. I don't. Maybe he hates me. I don't know.
No,
I don't think he does. He talks to me every day. Well, maybe he doesn't at least show it. If he didn't like me, I don't think he'd talk to me. No, for real.
It's a very friendly atmosphere, whether people want to believe it or not.
No, I'm dead serious when I say this. There's no a-holes that work at this station.
Zero.
I've worked, dude. I've trust me, nobody wanted us to help you in this business. They want
that Tom Morgan guy, kind of, sort of, but.
No, but.
I just love when Tom puts Joe in a blender.
Even like, I'll see him, I'm like, what's up, man? And he doesn't say anything. And then 5 seconds later, he goes, oh, what's up? And I go, how do you do this? He has like this thing.
One of my favorite side stories of the Sports Hub: Tom Morgan versus Joe Murray. But yes, Joe, someone by the name Danny Ballgame was tweeting at you, Felger wannabe. He had a couple other tweets in there as well, and someone in my ear tonight said, "Hey, are you aware that is the mayor of Lowell?" And I said, "Excuse me."
What?
And they said, "Yes, I'm familiar with this man and his work. You should." Take a look at his Twitter. Sure enough, I went to his Twitter. I went to the staff directory for the city of Lowell, lowellma.gov. Shout out Lowell, I guess. This man, Daniel Rourke, tweeting at Joe Murray, taking some shots. So
the mayor of Lowell out on Joe Murray.
Me personally, do I want my elected officials spending time on Twitter at all? No.
Oh, okay.
No.
And you know me, I'm out on politics, but I got a politician going at me.
That's where I want my politicians, on the cesspool that is Twitter, slinging crap at radio
I'm sorry,
hosts.
the cesspool that's Lowell. Wait.
That's
Lowell?
Yeah.
Lowell,
Yeah.
I love the people of Lowell. I went to the Lowell Pirates game this year. I got to flip the coin. I was the coin tosser and I went out to eat. I've been to Cobblestones over there. I've been to a lot of great places in Lowell. And, the people of Lowell were very upset after the fighter. If you remember that movie.
Fighter.
Yeah. That MTV girl, Yeah, that girl Charlene. So, sir, Mr. Politician, I don't do politics. But thank you for letting me get inside your head. I love Lowell. But I'm out on politics. All right, guys, we're back here tomorrow. Celtics
do it all
game.
again tomorrow. Maybe a little quicker tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Maybe some cupcakes and cookies, too. All right, everybody, that's it for us. Good night. Thank you, James.